I think all the points which are there in NEP covered. Speakers elaborated various points of NEP. Now we have question hour. I request our guest media personnel, if they can ask question on any point, we can answer them.
National education policy है.
Yes sir.
ये 2020 में हुआ था. जो ये 2020 के आगे और ये नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी होने के बाद में इसमें कितने बेनिफिट्स मिल रहे हैं स्टूडेंट्स को, ये थोड़ा समझा दीजिए. इसमें कितने बेनिफिट्स है और इसमें क्या स्टूडेंट को लाभ हो रहा है, इसके बारे में बताइए.
So who can take this question, sir? You, sir, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Very nice question it is. What are the benefits of NEP 2020? Very nice question is asked to me. Yes, we introduce something new when it is needed. When it is the need of the hour, we normally create something. When we need something, we create. So NEP 2020 is needed at this hour, because we have to cope up with the changing needs of the children. We have to be competitive. So our children from their early age must be competitive, otherwise they cannot cope up with the other parts of the world. We have to create a big global village, and in that all must be equally competitive. So the benefits of NEP 20, that NEP 20 lays emphasis on the experiential learning. As I have said, before it was a rote learning, it was a difficult task for children, for learners. And many learners used to feel discouraged and frustrated also, particularly at the time of examination, because they had to memorize facts. So NEP 2020 totally discourages memorizing of facts. They have to learn through their experiences. So it is experiential learning that NEP 2020 encourages. And moreover, NEP 2020 wants to minimize the dropouts, the number of dropouts. There should not be dropouts in the country. So how is it possible? So before it was like that. If one student just studied up to class 10, but due to certain reason he or she could not appear class 10 examination, so he was not considered as a matriculate, even though he studied up to class 10, but he could not appear the exam lastly. So now whatever exams the students will pass, he will be given some credit, certification will be there. In the same way, 10 plus 2 also, after passing class 11 also students will get a certificate. After passing class 12 they will get a certificate. And in the same way in graduation, after passing the first year of graduation they will get a certificate. Then after completing 2 years of graduation they will get a diploma. Then after completing 3 years of graduation they will get a degree without honors, and after 4 years they will get a degree with honors. And at the same time teacher training B.Ed, that is called Bachelor of Education, that is also integrated. So these are all the benefits of NEP 2020. There are many more. Thank you very much, media persons.
आज के इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आप सभी शिक्षकगण उपस्थित थे. आप सभी के राय में which education policy is better, either old education policy or national education policy, तथा नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को लागू करना क्यों जरूरी माना गया?
Earlier we had education policy 1986. So there is a big gap between these two education policy. Earlier education policy focuses on rote learning. You have to memorize if you want to pass, like that. Okay. So but in this new education policy, rote learning completely abolished. You have to be competent based education system launched. Okay, in earlier education system, 3 years preschooling was not included. But in this new education policy, 3 years preschooling also included, because research shows that child mental development take place in these three years. So these 3 years has been included in schooling system. Okay. Next difference is FLN, foundational learning and numeracy. Research conducted and shows that children or students passes class after class, but that they are not knowing how to write application. They are not knowing the basic of the maths. But government says that no, passing will not be done unless they learn this FLN, means foundational learning and literacy and numeracy. They must learn basic math, plus, minus, division, multiplication, percentage. Okay, and they should learn how to write application, how to know the language. Without language, learning cannot take place. You will not understand what is there in maths. So in this education policy, main focus in school education system given on FLN. Okay, then in previous education policy, every year there was exam. Every year, if you want to pass class 2, you have to appear exam. You have to pass class 3, you have to appear on exam. So in every year there is exam. But in this system, no. Exam will be conducted in interval. Means in class 3 you have to appear exam. In class 5 you have to appear on exam. Then in class 8 you have to appear on exam. Then in class 10 you have to appear exam. Then in class 12, like that. So this system was introduced in new education policy. Okay. So these are the things. In nutshell, we can say that if this education policy is implemented and executed, education system will be revolutionized, transformed. So that is the answer to your question, ma'am.
So this education policy give this major stress on the globalization of Indian education. Globally will be recognized, so that our youths shouldn't go outside the country. They can do everything within the country. If the educational system is a life skill based, then everything, because already have mentioned that outside what is happening, every knowledge is a skill based knowledge, experiential based knowledge, learning by doing, and NEP 2020 wants that our kids should learn everything by doing, so that we should compete globally also. And there is an option in NEP 2020 that near about 100 global colleges are going to come in India. So it means what? We have to compete globally. Our knowledge will not be confined in the particular country. Our knowledge will be shown globally, so that our youths will be staying in India and they will do everything what the people of America, Britain, they are doing. Means they will be, I should say, if this policy is implemented, then they will be more powerful than those developed nations also. And we all know that when we say education is the backbone of development. Seedha says that is the fact. Education is the backbone of development. So if we implement this education policy and in true spirit, if it works, ma'am, definitely one day will become a developed country, will not be called as a developing nation. Thank you so much, ma'am.